New season, new venue, same great action. It's P1 SuperStock. Welcome to Scarborough for round one of the 2015 P1 SuperStock Championship. This historic northeast seaside location is the perfect setting for a classic weekend's racing. And while this may be the first opportunity the teams have had to run the P1 Panthers in anger, they got their first taste of the water 3 weeks ago at the pre-season press launch in London's Docklands.
We've got a demonstration day, just previewing the season, getting our teams, sponsors and partners involved. Get down, come and have a look and see what the boats are like.
We've got some great venues this year, really looking forward to Scarborough. As a Yorkshire boy, born and bred, hopefully no mechanical failures and with a bit of luck, a bit of rough weather.
We are planning 20 international events spanning 7 different countries.
We've got our biggest field to date that'll be racing in P1 SuperStock. There's certainly a number of new drivers. This is fairly calm and contained by comparison to racing in the North Sea at Scarborough, our new venue for 2015. But they're getting used to it and getting the hang of it, and some more training to go in the next couple of weeks before we take to the start line.
But one team that was sadly unable to attend in London's Docklands were last year's UK and USA champions, GD Environmental. Shelley Jory-Lee reminds us of the fantastic season those guys had ahead of catching up with them earlier today.
Thanks, Kev. Last season, James and Charlie of GD Environmental got off to a shaky start in the opening round in Bournemouth, but after that it was all about leading from the front, and what an amazing season they had.
Well, out front, this is our team from Wales, James Norville and Christian Young.
They carry on where they left off in Florida. What a pass, what a move!
It looks like they have him by a nose as they head towards the checkered flag.
Can anyone catch GD Environmental? GD Environmental are champions!
Yeah, last year we won both sides, so hoping to maintain that. Start well this year, unlike last year, and do the double-double.
And have you done anything over the season? Have you been practicing? Have you changed anything on the setup?
Not at all. The boat was running well last year, so we've kept it the same. A little bit of maintenance, no major changes, and see how we get on.
Who's your biggest rival out there?
There's a few guys here, a lot of experience this year. Everyone's worked on the boats hard, I know, during the year, and well, today we'll tell.
Charlie, conditions today here in Scarborough?
It's how we want it. It's like a pond. We like the flatter water, so fingers crossed it should be our day.
So we're down here on the pontoon where I'm surrounded by some rookie racers, new teams and familiar faces, but the overriding feeling that I'm getting is that this whole thing this season has been a game of musical chairs.
This year I'm the driver and Carl's navigator. I've moved from the navigator seat to this one this year.
I think we've covered everything that we think we can cover between us. Time will tell.
New seat, new nav, new boat, new wave racing.
This is my first P1, been following it for a couple of years now, and thought this was the season to jump in, and really looking forward to it.
New boats, slightly different setup. I mean, obviously everything's mainly the same, but it's always strange getting out of one seat and into the other.
First time we've been on the boat together.
Yeah, in fact I haven't even driven this boat.
Yeah, it all came together rather late in the day. Fortunately, Pickfords came on board and we've managed to get a new boat. But we're number 22 this year, so we're two little ducks, quack quack.
Well, this is another one of our new teams, boat number 9, Quantum Racing. Vin Burdock and Matt Fennell in this one, but by the looks of it, their weekend is not starting out how they'd hoped.
She's been cleaned out. We've done every single safety check that we could possibly do on it. Everything's been maintained, and it just won't start. It's one of those things. It's motor racing.
Well, that's what the teams have got to say, but Shelley, we've come down here onto the sand. What is it going to take for someone to win out there today?
Trim. It's flat out there today. We've got a beautiful amphitheatre here in Scarborough.
Great setting.
Wonderful setting for a powerboat race. But today it's all going to be about trim, and the experienced racers are going to know how to sort of just lift those boats and get them out of the water, get as much speed out of them as possible. Real baptism of fire for the rookie teams out there today.
And a bit of maths beforehand as well, because the races are back-to-back. They've got to manage their fuel.
Fuel is really important, and of course then when they come out they've actually got to be weighed and get to the minimum weight.
Carry too much, you're going to be slow. Get it right, you're going to be fast.
Yes, but then you've got to be on the right weight at the end.
Well, let's see what happens. Shelley, thanks ever so much. Let's head out then now to the start and take a look at the course with your race commentator, Dave Moore.
The boat's leaving the safety of the harbour and heading out into the North Sea and the start line. However, GD Environmental are not in the water and are fighting desperately to make it out there.
I think we've got an oil pump problem. So obviously we're into practice now, so we should be out there. Yeah. So power take, hopefully switch them, take this off, put on them.
The course is fairly well sheltered by headland, and unless the wind is from the east, conditions won't be a problem as they tackle this anti-clockwise layout. Waiting for the green flag. And there it is, racing at Scarborough's very first Grand Prix of the Sea is underway. Conditions look good, no one bouncing around too much. This is Typhoon in the hands of former British parakarting champion Kevin Hunt. It looks as if Alan Marine are edging ahead. They have the inside line into the turn. Meanwhile, father and daughter duo Vince and Jade Berridge in visitwales.com with some work to do. But it's Alan Marine who are our first race leaders of 2015. They're all still sorting themselves out. Everyone else respecting the other space as they make this turn. The Berridges are on the inside, but they're hitting a lot of wash. They keep it nice and neat though. And all the while, it's Alan Marine breaking the blue as they set the pace out front. This is the battle for sixth between visitwales.com and Leica Mobile. Both crafts side by side. Husband and wife, Stuart and Sarah Curitan, trying to edge in front. And they've done it. So Leica Mobile on the move. Looking down at Alan Marine in the hands of Aaron Scott and Gavin Felt. They are still leading. John Donnelly and Kevin Hunt in Typhoon are currently in a battle with Dave and Kirsty Toos Hobson. They're side by side as they squabble over fourth position. Pickfords have the inside line and the advantage on this anti-clockwise circuit, and they're looking to be using it as they just sneak ahead of Typhoon. Leica Mobile not quite on the pace of the leading crews just yet. Just ahead of Leica Mobile are John Donnelly and Kevin Hunt in Typhoon. We rejoin the battle for first place, and it's still in the possession of Aaron Scott and Gavin Felt, but for how long? They're coming under real pressure from Flying Panther, who gained a lot of space into the turn, but did they hold back as they bore down on the race leaders? If so, then they may well have had to hold off, which may have upset their momentum. They found themselves crossing over their rivals' wake as a result, and now are on the outside of Alan Marine. But they are giving Scott and Felt plenty to think about, and it's now between these two as to who will triumph in this opening race of the campaign. What a start to the season. David and Kirsty Toos Hobson have been racing together for some time now. In Pickford's colours for their third year of racing P1 Panthers, they finished 7th overall last season. Out front, it looks like being a dream start to the campaign for Alan Marine, plus a first ever win in this series for Aaron Scott as they hurtle toward the checkered flag. It's victory for Alan Marine and its crew of Aaron Scott and Gavin Felt. Flying Panther are unable to bridge the gap to first and have to settle for second ahead of Pertemps Network, with Alan Marine our first victors of 2015.
Well, sadly, it wasn't the start that the lads from GD Environmental would have hoped for, nor Quantum Racing in their first outing in the boat. But congratulations to Aaron and Gavin, Alan Marine, taking the first one of the season. Let's see what happens then as we head out now for race 2.
The boats are in position. As we wait for the signal to go, we have 10 craft all eager and ready to race just off the Filey coast, where the weather today has been superb. We ride with visitwales.com as they look to get away quickly, but they're already trailing Flying Panther. and Alan Marine as this impressive sight powers its way towards the huge crowd of spectators which have assembled to watch this. David Taft and Lee Norville in the new look, new wave racing outfit. And it is race one all over again with Flying Panthers and Alan Marine in the top two positions, with Pickford's, Taifu and Potemps Network disputing third place. We just saw how fast they were travelling then, almost flat out as they come toward the coastline for the first time. Potemps Network and Taifu are sorting out between them which is going to have fourth place on the leaderboard. It looks as if John Donnelly and Kevin Hunt have slotted into fifth place, but it's early days, of course. They may be fifth, but Taifu can still see third place just ahead of them. The gap between second and third has widened, but Pickford's trying to break away from Potemps Network, who are back in fourth. This is the view from onboard. Visit Wales.com. That's Vincent Jade Berridge. We're now looking down on Nick Williams and Martin Robinson in Flying Panther in second place. John Donnelly and Kevin Hunt in Taifu still looking to make up, but what's this? Something's going on, and Taifu coming to a halt. One can only wonder as to why they've stopped. A wave from Sarah Curitan, so all is good on board like a mobile right now. However, the same cannot be said of GD Environmental. Well, what a duel this is. They are virtually next to each other as Flying Panther looks to get past Alan Marine, and they appear to be gaining, but are they actually making inroads into Alan Marine's lead? Having tasted victory for the first time, Aaron Scott is now greedy for more. But here goes Flying Panther, and in fact Alan Marine is slowing. Something is wrong, and we have a change for the lead, and in somewhat dramatic circumstances. Unbelievable misfortune for Alan Marine, and unbelievable good fortune for Nick Williams and Martin Robinson in Flying Panther. Well, Alan Marine are on their way again, and it could be that the power cord came out, which instantly stopped the engines. Another crew in trouble is Quantum Racing. It's not been their weekend so far. Looking back from New Wave Racing, Dave Taft joining forces with Lee Norville to create this new team. Now this is the battle for second as Pickfords, who finished fourth in race one, square up to Alan Marine, who stopped inexplicably, of course. Pickfords have the inside line here, but they will be on the outside as they go around the next buoy, and therefore could lose the advantage unless they change position, of course. However, they are so close together right now that neither can move across without losing ground, and Alan Marine just about edge ahead. Meanwhile, it will be our second race winner in two races, or second different race winner that is, as Flying Panther tear their way toward the checkered flag. Delight for Nick Williams and Martin Robinson. And here comes Alan Marine to finish in second. So this is how they finish, and Pickfords, having finished fourth in Heat 1, go one better this time with Alan Marine second and Flying Panther on top.
So Nick, a first and a second from you. Great first day at the office.
Really pleased. We weren't expecting that at all, actually. We hadn't done much testing in the boat, and it's a new boat, but really stoked. Thank you.
Brilliant start in the second race, just like the first. Good clear water, loads of room behind, and then my intercom plug came out and took the kill cord with it, which then rendered me with a dead boat. So manic little scrap around the boat, try and find out what went wrong, flipped the kill cord on, started up, and we only lost 2 positions at that point. So yeah, our lead paid off really.
We had problems this morning. We thought it was air in the oil system, but it was actually the oil pump had failed. So we switched the oil pump off a spare boat, very kind, but went out, overheated, and the boat is not starting. Don't know what the problem is. Guessing at a water pump, or it could be more terminal than that. We'll find out shortly.
Well, that certainly wasn't the start that James and Charlie of GD Environmental were hoping for. But with Alan Marine and Flying Panther on equal points, the stage is set nicely for day 2 here in Scarborough. Join us after the break. So welcome back to day 2 here in Scarborough, and what a difference a day makes. Yesterday, Shelley, we had sunblock on, and today we've got, well, our shower proofs and our waterproofs. What's going on?
Yep, the weather is pretty grim today. The wind has picked up, which for the rookie teams, they've got everything this weekend. Fast and flat, and then it's rough.
And let's talk about yesterday's action, because mechanical issues for a few of the boats.
Quite a few mechanical issues. They've been working on it overnight, they've been working on it this morning. I hope everyone's going to be back out on the race course today.
Thanks, Shelley. Well, that's what we're thinking at this point in time, but let's go and see how the team see it.
Yesterday wasn't the best. At the end of the day, we came out here, we were optimistic. We thought that the boat was running well, and it was at the start of the race, and then we just lost revs, down on power. We got a 3rd and a 4th, but we had to fight for it.
The boat's been going well in practice, and then it seemed to drop the revs in the race, which was frustrating, obviously. It's just a really big vibration. Something's out of balance somewhere.
We came in 7th. We were a bit down on speed, some steering issues and electrical issues. We did a few running repairs on the water, but nothing that could really help us. We just did as best we could in the second race, and we stopped.
First race flew without issue. Boat performed brilliantly. Second race away, thought we had it in the bag, and then had a kill cord issue. A bit disappointed with that, but clawed back a place and second place in the end. So overall, I'm really happy with today's performance.
Yesterday, very good position in the first race. Would have liked a little bit better. Second race, we had an electrical fault, led to a retirement, and not so good, but you know, hopefully all fixed now and back out racing today.
Well, as you heard from Aaron Scott, this little piece of equipment actually cost Alan Marine the race yesterday. But it's a very important piece of safety equipment. This is the kill cord. This is attached to the person, either on the life jacket, round their leg, and basically if they get thrown from the boat and have not got control of that steering wheel, it will immediately cut the engine, and that is what happened to Aaron yesterday. He'd actually got it caught up in his intercom wire, which when he moved, he suddenly pulled it, engine went dead, and it lost him the race.
Well, here you go. This is coastal life for you. Shelley, in the time that we've been running around this morning, chatting to the teams and looking at kill cords and safety features, the rain has stopped, the wind's here, but different conditions.
Totally different conditions. The wind is actually really strong, but what is good is that we have got the visibility back. This morning I was a little bit worried with the viz, whether we'd actually be able to race, but we're definitely on for a good race.
All right, lovely. Thanks, Shelley. Let's go head out to the start then and join your race commentator, Dave Moore.
It's the same layout as yesterday, but as we've heard, conditions are very different, which will suit some, but not others. Race 3 in the first of 2 back-to-back races, which means the last heat of the weekend will follow almost immediately after this one concludes. On board with our Race 2 winners, Nick Williams and Martin Robinson, back together for another season of P1 Panther racing. They are certainly a crew on the move. They've just powered past visitwales.com. Oh, and come very, very close to Pertemps Network. But did they touch? Former P1 champion John Wilson in Pertemps is one of those who prefers choppy conditions. In the middle of the pack is John Donnelly and Kevin Hunt in Typhoon. And it's Alan Marine who edge ahead of Pertemps Network, and they are on a flyer, almost flat out. Looks to be between Alan Marine and Leica Mobile for top spot, but Flying Panther looking to get involved. So far, it's been a good weekend for Pickford's Racing as well. Here they come, and it's Alan Marine once again blazing a trail out front. You can be rest assured every precaution will have been taken to prevent a repeat of yesterday's misdemeanor. Now, let's look again at Flying Panther as their nose goes very high out of the water, but they don't make contact with Pertemps Network. Daisy Coleman keeping her cool. More woes for Quantum Racing, a sad sight to see. Here's the battle of the third, and what a battle. Pickford's on the inside, Leica Mobile on the outside. They could almost reach over and pat each other on the shoulder, certainly on the straighter parts of the course. It's a strong start to the campaign for the Pickford's Racing crew. 04 is Arthur J. Gallagher, and just behind is 55, visitwales.com. John Wilson and Daisy Coleman have once again paired up to compete in the colours of Pertemps Network. Back with the battle for third, and Pickfords have just squeezed ahead of Leica Mobile, but there's not much in it. The tiniest mistake could change everything as Leica Mobile tuck inside Pickfords. Kirsty Toos Hobson keeping an eye on their rivals. And she's relaying vital information to husband David. They still hold third, so Leica Mobile need to come up with another plan if they're to snatch the podium position. Flying Panther find themselves in second place once more and chasing the leaders. And here are the crew of Alan Marine, who have been virtually unbeatable so far this weekend. Certainly appeared to give Flying Panther their win. There's the checkered flag to the left of the screen, and Alan Marine take their second win at Scarborough. Another third place for Pickfords as they hold off Leica Mobile, with Flying Panther in second behind Alan Marine. The fourth and final heat of the weekend at Scarborough, with Alan Marine looking to make it a hat-trick of wins. This time, though, they wouldn't be taking the flag first. Another hotly contested race, and on this occasion, it was Flying Panther, the crew of Nick Williams and Martin Robinson, who would eventually take the spoils, with Aaron Scott and Gavin Felt having to settle for second. In third place, once again, it was David and Kirsty Toos Hobson of Pickfords Racing. They're tied on points, but it's Flying Panther who emerges overall victors due to a fastest lap decider. Pickfords will be delighted to be third.
It was a battle with Alan, who did really well, and we managed to catch them in the second race on the pit lap, and managed to get the quickest lap overall, so we just took the weekend. We're very, very happy, unexpectedly, very, very happy.
Great racing all weekend. We really enjoyed it. It's been close, it's been competitive, it's been great. Real shame. I think it's 4 seconds. They beat us to on the first position over the weekend, but our points are the same. So championship-wise, happy with that, and yeah, should carry it forward.
So there we go. That's the finish to the opening weekend of the 2015 Championship. And Shelley, what a weekend we've had. It was tight at the finish.
Absolutely amazing. I thought Alan Marine had it. They lost it just on that last race. Equal points, and then it went down to a countback, and they didn't get it.
Less than 4 seconds, but the big news, last year's champions, GD Environmental, didn't feature.
No, not at all. Disastrous weekend for them. They've now got to go off to the USA as well. Let's hope they're going to be okay there.
First weekend in Jacksonville for them next weekend, but the next time we'll see you here in the UK will be in Gosport. So from all of us here in Scarborough, see ya.